Okay, we're recording now. All right, so to begin, why don't you start by, for this, I want each of you to just say your name and introduce yourself, and then just briefly say what you are studying. So let's start with Carlos.
Sorry, I can't. Hello, everyone. My name is Carlos Orozco. I am a third-year graduate student studying neuroscience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jesus Vega. I'm a fourth-year graduate student, and I study biophysics.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katia Rodarte. I'm a fourth-year graduate student, and I'm studying cancer.
Hi, my name is Carla Madrid. I am a third year in graduate school, and I am in biophysics.
Awesome. Thank you so much for introducing yourselves. So right now, we're going to talk a little bit about the path that each of these scientists in training took to get to where they are. So right now, every single one of these participants are studying to become scientists. And after that, they can do a lot of different things. And they'll talk to you a little bit more about what it is that they want to do with this degree. So first, we're going to start by asking the first question, which is, how did you first get into science? Was it something that you always wanted to do? Was it something that you were really into in high school or earlier? Or was it something that you discovered later?
Well, for me, I had no idea that I wanted to do science. When I graduated high school, I wanted to be a plumber or electrician. I wanted to be like practical, not get in debt. And I honestly didn't want to go to college, but my family didn't let me do it. And then in the process of graduating, I found this professor who was all into research, and he got me interested into it. And after that, I found a lab to do research, and I juggled between mathematics, chemistry, and biology. And here I am with a bachelor's degree in math, but I work in biology. So that just points out you can do whatever you want.
For me, in my case, no, I didn't always know I wanted to be a scientist. I actually started as a nursing major in college, and then I slowly transitioned. I got a fellowship that started to get me into research. So that allowed me to do a summer internship at Houston, and that just completely immersed me in research. And from that first experience, which was around sophomore year of college, I decided I wanted to do research. So yeah, I didn't always know I wanted to do that.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. So the next question is going to be, let's see. Okay, so we know that if you're interested in science, maybe in college, you'll choose a degree that is kind of science oriented, right? So maybe you could choose like biology, you can choose to study like Katia did, you can go into nursing, so anything with a science basis. But how did you decide to go to graduate school? So graduate school is a huge commitment. It's a lot of years. And yeah, like at what point did you decide that you wanted to attend graduate school, and what led you to make that decision?
Yeah, I can talk about that. Sorry, go ahead, Carla.
I got into research at the end of my college career. So I felt like I wanted to continue doing research, and I liked it so much, which I felt like I had just kind of dipped my toe in undergrad and didn't really spend that much time in research, which is why I chose to go to grad school, so I can continue doing research or learning, essentially.
For me, I had done a little bit of research as an undergrad, but it was never a full-time position. So in order to see if I really wanted to be a grad student, I did a post-bac program, which is a program after you graduate from undergrad, where I got to do research full-time. And that's where I really got submerged in the science, and I really got to see pretty closely what it would be to be in grad school, and that's when I was 100% sure.
Great. So one question I have is, what exactly is research? So you're all talking about, yeah, I wanted to do research, but what does that mean? What is it exactly that you do? Is it like one thing only, or can you research a lot of different things? Because grad school sounds like a one path, right? But as we all know, it's something that is very diverse. So can some of you briefly talk about what research is?
Oh, the short answer on the broad picture of it is research is answering questions that don't have answers yet. That's the main purpose of doing research. So as a grad student, our job is to actually think about problems that doesn't have a solution yet and find a solution for it. That is different on every field. For us in the biological sciences, it's more about diseases and finding cures or treatments for it. In the engineering, it's more practical stuff like building stuff. In chemistry, it's more building different chemicals or components or whatever. So it has different components. And also once you do a PhD, going a little after the research part is that because you are a researcher, you know how to think. So after you have learned how to be a critical thinker, you can actually move forward to whatever path of career you want to take, whether it's academic research or do any other type of stuff. Some people go from PhD to politics or to a different career. So you can do whatever you want after you have a PhD.
Yeah, and I just want to add that it doesn't just have to be a PhD. You could get your master's and do research, and like Carlos did a post-bac and did research. But basically what Jesus said, it's something that you want an answer for, and it's like a puzzle piece essentially, but what puzzle do you want to work on? And that's what you have to decide.
Yeah, I think those are really, really great answers. So if you are curious, if you like to answer questions and investigate things, even when you're little, when you're asking just why is the sky blue or why do things work the way they work, that means that you can be a scientist. Like growing up, you're practicing the same skills that a scientist uses every day. So with that, my next question would be, what were some things in high school or earlier that that kind of prepared you or got you interested in science? I know that's kind of like two different questions. But yeah, like what, for instance, I was part of a robotics team in high school, and there I got to see what that is like. I got to ask questions and try to solve them. So what were some things that you did that you think got you a little bit more interested in science?
I think for me, I was part of an IB program, which was maybe more advanced courses in wider areas. But when I took IB biology, the benefit of being more advanced is that it really dove into molecular biology. And that's when I really got to see the detail and how interesting biology was. And that's how I really got interested in the research at that level.
Did anyone else do something cool in elementary or high school that got them interested?
I was going to say, I don't know about interested, but I definitely, like for me, I always found like math and science to be the easier subjects in school, like from elementary to high school. So I always took pre-P classes in those classes that were easier for me, which helped me get into college. So I would recommend if you're really good at a subject or love something, take advanced courses in those subjects because it will help you in the long run.
Jesus, do you have something to add?
No, all I wanted to say is like, at least for me, high school wasn't the biggest motivator in life. So I have to say, like, don't be discouraged if you don't like science in high school. You know, I was okay with it, but I didn't love it. And then after, when I actually was exposed to real science, not sitting in a classroom, that's when I found that I really liked it. So all I'm saying is, like, don't be discouraged at something that at the beginning doesn't interest you. Just be with an open mind and try anything, any opportunity that you have. And that's how you really find what you like or not.
I agree. Science, I liked science, but math was not it for me. But look, I'm training to be a scientist now, so even if you hate math, you can do it. Okay, those are great answers. So my next question is, if you could go back, what advice would you give yourself? Like your middle schooler, high school self, what career advice, or it could be life advice too. What's one piece of advice that you would give your younger self?
School is more than just grades. Even if you have good grades, that doesn't mean you're learning anything. So spend your time finding something that you really like, or even if you don't like it, but learn something that when someone asks you about it, you really know what it is and how to describe it and how to explain it to someone else. Start just intriguing your own curiosity, and don't worry about the grades. The grades are just a secondary thing. You need good enough to get into college, but after you have good enough, everything else is about you and your own interests and how you can nurture those interests.
I guess I would say to not lose confidence in yourself and not be discouraged. Like, if you feel, I guess maybe I'll just say like a little story of when I started grad school. I felt completely discouraged. I had no confidence. I kept saying, everyone knows more than me. I don't think I can make it. But now I'm on my 4th year, so I guess I'm all right. So I guess I would just have to say, like, just focus on you're doing. Don't look at what others are doing. Don't get discouraged if you're not at the same level as others. You'll be doing fine. So just, I guess, have confidence in yourself.
Cool. So I also heard a little rumor that you actually get paid to go to grad school. This is crazy. Can someone talk to us about that? Or how is it like different from med school?
Okay, I guess I can talk about it. Yeah, so it's great. We get paid. It's something that my family's very confused about. When I told them I was gonna do grad school, and then they're like, "How are you gonna pay for your apartment? How are you gonna survive?" And I said, "I get paid, so I don't have to worry about that." And it's very nice because we can just focus on our research, because this is a labor intensive career path. So it's very nice that you don't have to have an extra job. You can just focus on what you're doing. And I was gonna mention something else.
Well, yes, following the next part of the question about med school, it's very different, because in med school, what you're doing, it's taking classes for 4 years, and then yes, you have rotations and you actually interact with patients, etc. But it's mostly you learning, like, taking knowledge on how to be a doctor. As a scientist, you're taking knowledge that you're producing yourself. And then also very different, it's like med school, you have to pay, and then we get paid for studying. In med school, you have to pay for it. But the essential of the job is very different. Us, we are going forward beyond the knowledge that is already existing. We go to expand it. As a med student, you use existing knowledge to take care of other people.
And then I would also like to add, you don't have to wait until grad school to get paid to do research. There's opportunities for undergrads and even high schoolers now, and I wish I knew about those and I had taken advantage of those, because you could do summer programs, you could do it during your courses, but you also get paid to do research, and that's pretty cool if you start early.